Being with somebody for 9 years is just like the craziest experience. You grow up together. Like, we were 13 when we first met. We started dating when we were 14. And now we're 23.
They say, you marry your best friend, you meet your soulmate or whatever. When we first got together, every 14-year-old says, like, yeah, we're gonna get married and all that wonderful, cute stuff. The difference between being a 13-year-old and a 23-year-old is so vast, and to basically grow up with someone is interesting. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, because, you're ornery teenagers and little things set you off here and there. But like, I don't know, I feel lucky to grow up with the person I know I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with.
It was the first day of 8th grade.
Homeroom 110 in the new wing, Veterans Memorial Middle School. I got there to the class first. It was like 1 or 2 people in the room, including the teacher, and then eventually she walked in.
And I sat down at my desk that had my name on it, and I look over and there's this really cute guy, right?
I don't know, I had this weird thing, it sounds corny or whatever, but I was like, I need to date that person.
And I look away really fast because then he looked at me and I was all nervous. And I'm looking out the window and I'm like, crap, he definitely thinks I'm a weirdo.
And then, I was classic AJ, I just kind of slid right in there and was like, hi, I'm AJ.
Ever since then, we were just inseparable. When I look at him, like, I just love his smile and how happy he always looks.
Hey babe, I have a present for you.
What?
Close your eyes. This video is for you if it's like late and you can't go to bed. I love you.
Her eyes, I've always said her eyes are like the most beautiful in the world. Like, I get lost in them. She'll be sitting there talking to me, and like, I'll completely phase out, staring at her eyes. She's like, did you hear anything I said? And I'll be like, yep.
Three, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Now I get this feeling.
So when we were 16, we went on a date to the boardwalk, and we went by the boat ride. And we always like to try to like tease each other a little bit. So we were trying to one-up each other.
And I am the way that I am. So I bring her over to the boats and I'm like, hey, I almost got a girlfriend here when I was 8 years old. And she like looked at me, her eyes got all big, and I was like what? And she was like, that was you? And I was like, what was me? And I looked at her, and like, we were in the spot. It was so weird, and then I saw her, and then I saw her as an 8-year-old, and I was like, oh my God, it was you.
We were just kind of in shock. It's just such a weird thing. Like,
it was the first year that we were too old, too tall to ride the ride. Like, we outgrew it, but we still wanted to go on anyway. So it was me, my cousin Sarah, and Skylar behind us. I didn't know it was Skylar, but it was just a girl my age.
And they're like, you're too tall. So I'm crying hysterically.
Me being the suave gentleman that I am, even at the age of 8, I turn around, I hug this girl. I'm like, no, it's fine. I can't ride the ride either. You want to go like ride the swings or whatever?
And then I ran away because I was like, I went up to my grandma and I was like, some cute boy just hugged me and I'm crying over a stupid ride. And we were like 8 years old.
And we had this euphoric moment of like, we met when we were 8. And yeah, it's weird. I still think about that.
I guess it was meant to be.
As we grew in our relationship, we were probably about 16-ish, 15, and it's that puppy love stage where like anything and everything is like cute or whatever, and you're just always trying to find a way to make her go, oh, like that. So we would always say like, yeah, we're gonna get married one day, we're gonna have like 15 kids, that's what she wanted, and I was like, no. And I wrote in her phone in the calendar app, I wrote in October 2025. It was like, I said, we're gonna get married.
But now that like we're engaged and it's actually happening, it's such a surreal moment.
Is that Divine intervention, coincidence, am I a genius? I don't know. It's just, I put the date in there and here we are.
So he proposed on December 23rd, 2022.
It was not a nightmare. Nightmare's not the word, but it was a stressful couple of days because she got sick.
And he kept coming over, giving me Gatorade and food and all that stuff.
I was like showing up to her house with like bottles of Gatorade. It's like, you gotta get better by Friday.
And that's when I kind of started to get suspicious. And we always talked about getting engaged, obviously. We've, at that point, together 8 years.
The day itself was stressful because again, it was so cold. Like we were numb walking around the city.
The day came and I was fine by then, thank God. I was like, I'm going to the city and it's gonna be fun. Again, I didn't think it was gonna happen, but I kind of did, you know, that like, it might.
We had a whole day and evening planned and we were there for like an hour. We were supposed to eat and do all this stuff and then go to the tree at night, but we kind of showed up.
And then it started snowing. So as soon as it started snowing, we were like, we gotta run.
Let's just go see the tree, because her and I have been talking about seeing the tree since before we were dating. In 8th grade, she was like, oh, you go see that tree? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I've never been. And I was like, well, I gotta take you. And then I said that every year for like 8 years, and it just never ended up happening. So that's why that spot was chosen. Leading up to it, it was just event after event of like possibly not getting there. Like our ride might not have been able to go. Like, are we gonna take the train? The trains might not run because it's like hailing and like -8 degrees. So while all that side of it was stressful, the nice side was when we got to the tree, there was this moment of like serenity.
And we started taking pictures by the tree, and he had to get the ring out of his jacket pocket. So my friend was fixing her camera settings. So obviously I start modeling because why not? As I'm modeling, he's taking the ring out of his jacket pocket. And, you know, we start taking photos again. He puts the ring like right here on the side of me, on the shoulder.
Our friend Jordan was taking pictures and like I finally took a deep breath. It was just like, okay, we're here. Let's do it. It's 2 o'clock. This was supposed to happen 6 hours from now. Let's just do it.
And he says, you know, I wanted to give you an early Christmas gift. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, sure. He's like, no, I'm being serious. And then he got down on one knee and I'm like this.
I remember, weirdly, the detail I remember is I got down and when my knee went into like a puddle or something, and I remember feeling like wet on my knee. And I was like I kind of like jumped because like, ah. And then I asked the question and she started bawling her eyes out.
Literally covering my face because I'm like, what is going on? He says, will you marry me? And I just shake my head yes because I'm crying.
She didn't say yes, she just started crying. So I'm just sitting there, there's like a crowd, like 100 people, and I'm just sitting there like awaiting a response.
He asked me again because I didn't say anything, and he was like nervous. He's like, you good? And I was like, yes, of course I'll marry you.
And she finally says yes, and I get up. I don't know the etiquette, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, do you want it? Like, what's happening?
I'm like, what? Of course I want the ring. Like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So then he put it on my finger. And I finally looked at it because the whole time I was looking at him. He's like, did you even see the ring? I was like, no, I was just looking at you. And then I looked at it, I was like, it's literally perfect. Everybody clapped for us. It was the most surreal moment ever. It was so cool.
But it was a beautiful moment. It was very us because it was, things went wrong until there was a moment of like serenity. The next day was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So we got to celebrate with all our families, Christmas and the engagement. And it couldn't have been a more perfect time.
My parents knew, his parents knew.
And like her friend knew, the photographer. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was a surprise for everyone. We showed up at like my grandparents' house and like we showed the ring and everyone was like going crazy.
It was really special because we always joked like we have an announcement to make, and this time we actually did.
Merry Christmas! Miley, wash yourself.
We have a little Christmas Eve surprise for everybody. We have a little Christmas Eve surprise.
Mom!
Where's Mama?
Wow,
Show her, she's on the phone. Show her.
wait, what?
They're engaged!
We're engaged!
Wow! What? Did you guys know?
Yeah! Let's go! Oh, let's hear
Oh
it.
no!
Look. Show 'em. Happy birthday to you.
Skylar Jane Springer. I'm never gonna let go of the magic that you and I have. And I know all the couples say that, and there's so many stereotypical things that you can say about eternal love and whatever, but I think you and I are living proof of love at first sight and soulmates. Spending forever with you is something that I've been looking forward to since that day in homeroom 110, Miss Johnson's class. But yeah, I love that you're my best friend, that you're my soulmate. I'm looking forward to all the hard times we're gonna have together and all the great times. And I can't wait to just be old with you one day, drinking our porridge, reflecting on all the wonderful stuff that we're gonna accomplish, that I know you are going to accomplish. So take everything I just said as a way of saying I can't wait for our imperfectly perfect future that we're gonna have together. And I love you so much.
I just love you so much. When you proposed to me, that was the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm fine. And I just can't wait to walk down the aisle and just marry you and, be with you every 5 minutes of the day. But I just want you to know that you're my everything. And I just want you to know that I'm gonna love you forever, and nothing's ever gonna stop me from loving you. No one will ever stop me from loving you. I don't know what I would do without you. You are my rock. And I love you.
3 heart TM. You know what's up.